So this is a lesson on currently my favorite Chili Pepper song, just because this is like the coolest guitar riff I've ever heard. But, so this is going to start with a slide on the 12th fret A string. So you just hit that and slide down. Then the beginning of the riff, what you're going to do each time is, I play the Hendrix/Frusciante way, where you play chords with your thumb on the E and A string, and that works particularly well for this riff. So what you're going to want to do is do 2 hits on the 2nd fret E string, so a little messy, but like that. And then you're going to want to bar your first finger on the high E, B, G, and maybe the D string too. And then you're going to take your middle finger, put it on the 3rd fret B string. And so after you do the 2 hits, you're going to do a strum of those 4 notes, and then you're going to take your middle finger off and strum that chord. So the first part's going to sound like, alright, simple enough. And then you do a hammer on, take your first finger, A string, 2nd fret, and then hammer on onto the 4th fret, so like that, and then you're going to bar all these notes on the 2nd fret again, and hit that, so it'll be, so from the top it's, and then he does 2 mutes, so it's, and then you take your middle finger, 3rd fret, E string, hammer on 4th fret E string, so that'll be, and then there's a weird rhythmical syncopation there, so it'll be, so it's, and that little chord that you're playing there is 4th fret D string, 5th fret B string, and I play that with my middle and ring finger, and then I kind of mute the rest of the strings with my pointer finger, so it'll be, so after the, it's mute, and then, so from the top, and then you go, so that's a hammer on 2nd fret on D string to 4th fret, and then you do another hit on the 4th fret D string, so it'll be 2 mutes, and then you play kind of the same thing you did at the beginning, where you bar, I think this time it, well yeah, just bar these 4 strings on the 2nd fret, take your middle finger, put it there on the B string, 3rd fret, and then you're going to lift that off again, so it'll be, alright, so do the hammer on, hit that, mute, then those 4 just barring there, but kind of in that same like moment that you're hitting those, you do a hammer on onto the 4th fret D string, and then you're not really able to hear this in the recording, but I actually slowed down the track in Final Cut and listened to it, and so he actually does, after the hammer on, Josh slides down from there, and then does like a triple hit on the E string, so it all sound, it's like a slide, a mute, and a hit on the E string all kind of happening at once, so it'll be like, and so that time it's, instead of just, it'll be, and so that's the first progression of the riff, and it alternates between the second one, which I'll show you in just a minute. So from the top, that riff is, and again, like, obviously not everything is perfect. I slowed it down, listened to it, spent hours trying to figure the song out. It's tough, and for the most part I think I have everything, but there's a few of those like little double stops and like some of the chords that might not be exactly note for note, but for the most part, that's what it is. And then also another thing, it's hard to tell, but when I slowed it down, it sounded like the slide at the end of the riff where he goes, was actually longer, so I started thinking that maybe he's playing part of the riff up here on the 7th and 9th fret. It'll be like, because it's a longer slide there, but either way, I'll put up the tabs for both, and you can decide whichever's easier. So again, that riff. Then the second alternation after the slide. So you slide down, 1, 2, 3, and then the same as the beginning. The first part's the same, so it's. But this time, instead of playing on the E string, he bends the 4th fret D and G, so it will be. So he does a double mute and then just bending those notes. So he does the double mute, bend, mute, then hammer on, you bar the D and G on the 2nd fret, and then hammer on both of those strings on the 4th fret, and then another hit 4th fret D string. So it'll be. So after the bend and release, mute, hit 4 on the D and G, and then another. Alright, so then the alternation on the second part, after the. You do the double hit again, and then you bar the 4th fret D string, 4th fret G string, and bend and release. And then mute, and then hit those two notes again, just 4, 4, 4 there, and then you bar 2nd fret on the D and G, those two notes, and then hammer on both of those onto the 4th fret. So, and then another hit 4th fret D string, and then another mute. So that'll be. And then this time you do the chord again where you're it's just 2 and 3 here on the G string and B string, like that. And then this time you do 2 hits, mute, and then 2, 2. So that's 2nd fret, G and B. In the same motion that you're hitting those 2 notes, you're also going to, it'd be easier to play 2nd fret D string too, because then you hammer onto the 4th fret again, and slide out. So that's essentially the main riff. I'll play both progressions from the top again. And to be honest, to play it up to speed, I can't really even play it exactly as the tabs because I'd have to practice it a lot more. I end up kind of just playing basically that, but it's different. So I don't know, it's a lot of work to get it down. But anyway, one more time, slower. That's what it sounds like, and I think the structure of it. So anyway, now for the chorus. The chorus is in kind of an interesting mode. The first chord is a major chord, and so I mean there's like the 4 basic chords of the chorus, but then Josh also plays alternations on them, like little notes that he adds in, like on stuff like that, and it varies each time, but I'm just going to teach you the variation that stood out most to me because I haven't taken the time to learn all of them because it's very hard to hear. So first you're playing the A major chord, 5th fret, And what you're doing as you're strumming halfway through, he plays this note. I think that's a sus4, I believe. So I play that by just taking like my pinky and barring it over the 7th fret G string. So that's the note he's hitting. So then the next chord, it's a little hard to hear whether it's major or minor. So the way I wrote it out on the tabs is first you play a D flat minor chord, and then what he does is you hear these 2 notes in there, and so since that'd be covering up the 3rd, which defines it as major or minor, so you're playing the minor chord. So what I do there, play the minor chord, then bar it like that, as if I were going to play a major chord, but then take my pinky and bar the 7th fret on B and E string, and then take my pinky off, and that's the major chord, so it'll be minor, sus, major, like that. And then the next chord, slide over 1 fret, it's a D major, so you're playing that. And the fill he does on this is it's 9th fret E string, and then 7th fret, 5th fret, and so I kind of voice that over the chord, so I'll be playing the chord. And so then I lift up there, so you get that note. So, and then next you come to a F major chord, and it's a F major 6, I think. You bar all 4 of those strings on the 10th fret. That's the D, G, and E. Your root there on the A string, that's the F. So, just the basic chords would be A major, D flat minor, and then D flat major, D major, and then F major, but with the alternation sounds like this. So, this is the Kitt, Chili Peppers. We'll take it from the top one more time, just go through it. So, here we go. So, this is a Kitt. As of now, I haven't figured this solo out all the way. I mean, it's pretty simple. It just, but yeah, I don't think the solo's all that great. Unless if people really, if you guys really want me to do a lesson on the solo, I'll be happy to. But otherwise, that's it. Hopefully, you were able to follow along in the lesson. If you're interested, you can check out my band's songs. I'm a huge Chili Peppers fan. You can really hear that in my guitar playing. We've written tons and tons of songs. Right now, our set list that we're playing live consists of 25 original songs. So please check us out. Name's Zephyr from the Sun. Just go to the YouTube page. Thanks for listening. See you.